You for joining me. So you may have noticed I was on before and clearly I'm not now. We had a little glitch, so here I am. I trust you've got yourself back. So today I'm talking about the nose. And when I talk about the nose, it's when you get that no, and people go, no, 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 and it can throw you right out for your day. Okay, so I think I've got this sorted now. So let me know if you are here live or if you're here watching this as a replay. I would love to know where you are in the world. That would be fantastic. So let me go back to this again. So what is a no? And how many times can you get that no when you get kicked? And you get kicked and kicked and kicked. And so how many times can that actually happen to you? I'm going to answer that one. So when it happens, when someone says no to you, and you can feel that, oh, that no, and you can feel that, it really knocks you off course. Not only does it knock you off course, it gets you frustrated, it deflates you, you start, some people blame others, but you can blame others. I'm not saying you can do it, but you do. And it really just throws you out. And if you are a strategizer, which I believe all people are in their own way, is we start questioning every step of how we've got to where we've got to. So we go, what did I say? What did I do? That was wrong. What's going on? And we question all the stuff that we don't necessarily need to do to find out what's actually happening. So we can get ourselves into a real pickle and a real state, and we can escalate from where we are. When someone gives us a no, we become, I talked about being frustrated, we can talk about getting really unproductive. And when you're unproductive, nothing gets done. So when someone says no to you, it can really knock you off your stool, where you're sitting, can knock you off your course of whatever you do. So when I ask how many times can you get kicked, and how many times can you take the no before you wake up, is as many times as it takes. There is no time frame on why and what and who and the rest of it. There is no time frame on this because every time frame is different for every scenario in your world. So as many times as it takes. So when I talk about it takes, what does it take mean? So it takes could mean until you've learnt the lesson, until you've actually gone, oh, I know what actually happened here. I've learnt the lesson. Lessons don't have to be a bad thing. It's just a word, but you just, until you learn, maybe not lesson then, until you learn. Until you adjust your style. You might want to adjust your style for how you interact with somebody else next time. When does it take mean? When you let the attachment go. And letting the attachment go is a great one because I'm going to talk about desperation very shortly. But it's when you let the attachment go, because you know when you let attachments go to certain things, you go, oh, just do it. The universe, or whatever you want to call it, actually provides for you in the way that you are looking for it to happen anyway. When you truly let it go, not sneakily let it go, when you actually go, okay, what will be, will be. Whatever will happen, will happen. Any of those scenarios that you say in your mind, when you let that attachment go, that's when it's going to happen. So, what does it take mean? Those things I've just talked about. When you have a response, when you ask somebody something, or you get them on your train, or anything like that, and they say no. So, take ownership yourself. Take ownership yourself. And this depends on what you're asking. Is it a realistic time frame of what you're asking someone to do? Because you may be asking them to do something, they only have 3 minutes, and you're asking them to do it in the next 2 minutes before they have to do their next task. So be aware of the time frames. Is it realistic to you? Is it realistic to them? Depending on your energy of how you gave it out, is how they're going to respond depending on your energy and what you say. And it's also, when I talk about your energy, it also depends on your sleep, your eating, and your emotions of the day. Because you know, if you eat a massive meal and then you want to go do something inspiring, that's physical exercise, you're a lot heavier and you're a lot more weighed down than you normally would if you were going to do it. So you can look at that stuff. So what have you eaten? Did you sleep well? Are you the right energy that you're going in there? What's actually going on? Is someone going to say no to you and you're going to burst into tears and then you're going to guilt trip them? So be aware of your energy. And these things I said is also around the same for them. So be aware of their energy, their sleep patterns, what they have eaten, which you won't know unless you've been watching them 24/7, what's actually going on, what's their emotions of the day. Be aware of that stuff, because that can influence this at any stage of what's actually happening around. So when I talked a little bit about desperation before, and I talked about letting it go. So desperation is a yucky one. And I say it's a yucky one because you know when people are desperate. You can see when people are desperate, they try and do all these things that can get blown out of the water, and they're desperate for someone to give them attention, or they're desperate for that money, or they're desperate for you to do this, or they're desperate. You can think of times when yourself have been desperate, but also when others. And when people are desperate, they either jump in straight away or they run. And they run, if they run so fast away from you. They are just running like, I can't even think of that cartoon character, you know, that one. They're running that fast that their legs are going that you can see the speed behind them. They are running so fast away from you because you are desperate, and no one loves desperate people. No one loves desperation. So if they jump onto your train, they're going to jump off very quickly because they've bought in on that desperation. And when I think about this, I actually think about sellers on stage. And I see people on stage and they say, and you're in an event and they sell you something and they say, go down the back, and the first 5 people who can get this amazing offer that's usually $50,000, today we're going to do it for $10,000 for the first 5 people. And it's a big sale, it's a flash sale, it's this and this, and they're desperate, so they're not actually providing from a service. So we've got, I have to think about that. We've got 3 seats left, we've got 5 seats left, go. You know those ones. That's desperation. So those people push each other to get to the back of the room to buy that product. Now, you know when they buy that product, if you've been in events, that they are going to be the first 5 people to opt out of that because they've bought in desperation over inspiration. They're not alive and inspired about doing this. They're like, yes, I want this. I'm saving $40,000 or whatever it is. You can save $10, whatever it is. They see the value. They go, yes, I want it. And they jump in. But they've bought on desperation. Not only are they desperate for that pill to take that's going to solve all their problems, they're not going to do the work. They're going to be asking beyond your boundaries. They're going to push you beyond a stretch. So it's wiser for you to sell and buy yourself, sell and buy on inspiration. Now, when I talk about inspiration is when you are authentic to you. You know you have an amazing service. You're going to provide that service to those people out there, and you vibrate an attractive energy around you. You vibrate this energy that people want to be part of your journey, but they do it because you're inspired and they want a piece of that, which is okay. It's not desperate, but they become inspired very quickly when they get attracted to your energy bubble, and you're glowing on a way that's actually alive, and you're not in a slump, because nobody likes people who are desperate. You're not in a slump. You're actually genuine. You're loving whatever it is. You're loving your product, whatever it is, and you're loving the people around you, and you're here to generally provide a service. And when I talk about you being alive, I talk about not the pom-pom alive. I'm talking about you are genuinely alive and inspired about what it is that's going on, And this is where people want to be part of. When Harry met Sally and she had the cake at the table and the lady beside her said, I want that cake, whatever that cake is. Now, she wasn't desperate for the cake. Well, I don't think she was desperate. She was inspired to see that woman inspired with what was happening, and she wanted a piece of that. Now, that's totally okay. That's different. So she's buying in on inspiration because the person who was having the cake, if you know that scenario, knows that she was inspired. She was also faking it as well. So there's questions to ask. And when I think about these questions to ask, so these are the questions to ask before you ask. So before you ask the person, these are questions to ask yourself, your soul, your core, who you are, before you ask the person. So is what I'm selling something freaking amazing? Do I believe in it? Is what I'm selling something that's amazing and inspires me to be around? Or am I selling it